Today, we are busting another myth and taboo. Want to know what this is going to be about? I am so excited to break the myth that we can live in one state or toward one aspect of life. What am I talking about? What do I mean? Life is made up of polarities. The biggest polarity, and polarity means opposites, the biggest polarity is life and death. And whatever happens in between is our lives. You know, we're born and we die. But we've been taught that to live the biggest, most exuberant, passionate life, we should focus on living, not on dying. Okay, where does that lead us? Yeah, it works in a way. I mean, I've lived it, you've lived it, we've all lived. We might not live it out in our lives. We might get depressed or tired or slower or age, and that pulls us closer to the polarity of death because we think of life as energy, exuberance, all the positive words. And where does that leave death? I didn't want this to make this about death, but that's what came out first. It's almost the easiest to see, really. But it's true about so many topics like positive and negative. We're taught to be positive, that negative makes you depressed. Well, let's just think of what depressed is. You turn in, you get quiet. There is the added insinuation that you don't feel happy. You know, that's the worst that you can be. We have all these books and self-help guides. This is more joy. This is more happiness. Yeah, that stuff may have legitimacy in getting more. But look at what we're running from, which is less. We're so afraid of all of the feelings and the states that we assume are part of the opposite. So we've created this. What if I said, okay, you're my new little child, and I'm going to teach you that since we love summer and we love spring and we love fall, we're not going to pay any attention to winter. Let's just pretend that we can always be in spring, summer, or fall. How do you think that's going to work? Because winter is part of life. And we don't have to have an opinion on it. We don't have to say, oh, it's as good as life. Hell, no, nobody knows what death is. We've been taught things by the culture, by religion. You know, we've been told there's hell and there's heaven. We've been told there's afterlife. We've been told there's reincarnation. We've been told lots of things. We've been told there's nothing. Actually, nobody knows. That's the truth. There are no death experts. Even those who've had a temporary interaction with death and come back only know about that first phase. They don't know what it's like to lose consciousness, or if we even do. I have a short story about that with my mother. When she died and when she was clinically dead, they pronounced her dead. I got in bed with her. She was in our house just to thank her for birthing me and whatever. And my mother was always very cold, physically. Like, I'm usually buttoned up. You don't usually see my neck. I'm usually like this. This is a sweatshirt in June. She was like me with cold hands. My mother was burning up. She was pronounced dead. They called the morgue. The people were going to come to get her from the funeral parlor. What? You're so hot. I felt that was a signal to me. Some of you have heard this story before, but it's worth repeating. So I was on alert and started talking to her, and I called my dear sister, I called my dear daughter, I called everybody I could think of that cared about my mother to talk to her because she seemed to be there. 2 hours passed. And you know what? She was still hot. So then I kind of got nervous. I thought, oh, they're going to come, and I don't really want her to be conscious when they put her in the bag. So I said, Mom, it might be time to leave now because we're going to be burying you with Opa, her husband, and we're going to follow all of your wishes. And so it's probably time to go so you won't be so present when they come and get your body. Like that. She was gone. Cold. Everything got hard, went cold like that. I don't know how much control we have over consciousness. I don't know what any of it means. You take it from it what you will. But what I want to say is that the life that we know, where we go toward positivity, we go toward peace, we go toward love instead of fear, where we become crisis avoidant, conflict avoidant, avoid for all the negative. We've made it up that it's negative. It's just the opposite. You wouldn't throw a ball up and say, it's not going to come down. I only like the ball up. This is insanity to say there's only one. And what actually happens when you push away the other. So let's say you want only to be loving and not judgmental. I'm pretty sure that the people who try to do only that are more judgmental if we counted the number of times, not because they're ickier, more judgmental people. It's because the experience of pushing something down creates what you don't want. So let me not be judgmental. Let me not be judgmental. Let me judge myself when I'm judgmental. Do you see, can you feel the pushing down makes it bigger and more prolific? So what's the answer? The answer is that there is a place, there is a field, like Rumi says, beyond right doing and wrong doing. I'll meet you there. So that place that releases that pressure to try to live in peace, to be just loving, be aware, be present. When we're truly present, we're not even trying. We're not even advocating for one side of the polarity and avoiding the other. A lot of people have love and anger as opposites. What are your polarities that you're living with? And can you step back just by observing yourself? You're taking yourself out of it. You're not just in it where you're reacting. What if we respond to life with a little more consciousness, a little more presence, where we allow all feelings? Allowing them means just recognizing they happen. We're not saying, yay, this feeling, nay, that feeling. We're just acknowledging that what we observed happened. And none of us know how much control we have over life. But I'm going to make a suggestion that maybe pushing death away is taking away from our exuberance and our passion for living, just to make you more interested. And I'll tell you more about it in another video. Bye for now.